everyone, it's Nell with Little Yellow House Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. This week we've got something a little bit different. I've been seeing a lot on kind of the floss tube world recently where people have been going through their whip pile or their finish bin or whatever, so I thought it would be really fun to go through my bin of finishes. It's been a long time since I've done a video like this, so there's a lot more in here than there used to be. And if you're new to my channel, you may not have seen any of these pieces before. So this bin holds everything that I have finished stitching but have not fully finished. There have been a few pieces over the years that have been finished and given away to someone else, so I don't think this is a complete bin of everything I've ever stitched, but I think it's the majority of it. Of course, if it's been fully finished, it's not in this bin, with the exception of our stockings, which I'll talk about. But anyway, this is my bin of finishes. It's just one of those kind of shallow, under the bed kind of bins. I kind of line it with some tissue paper. I'm not super worried about archival quality anything, but I just think it keeps, you know, if dust or little bug bits or something get into the bottom of the bin, the tissue paper kind of protects my pieces from that. And then they're just laid flat. They're not folded up. They're not crinkled up. I didn't want things to have to be stored folded because sometimes when they're stored that way for a number of years, it can be hard to get the wrinkles out. So this is what works for me. But yeah, let's just dive right in. First and foremost, we're going to talk about these things sitting at the top. These are our Christmas stockings. I've shown these many, many times before. These are stockings that I have stitched for every member of our family, and they stay up in this bin here instead of in our Christmas bins of decorations because they are very precious to me, and I don't want them stored in the garage or the basement in a bin full of other Christmas decorations. They're also stored up here because in case of a fire or other kind of emergency, the things I would grab would be my family, my husband and children, my purse, and our Christmas stockings. These I don't ever want to lose. That's how precious these are to me. The rest of the stuff in this bin, it would be sad to lose it, but I could restitch any of it that I really wanted to, and it's just cross stitch. These somehow to me are more than just cross stitch. These are very, very precious. So really quickly, I'll show them in case you're new here and haven't seen them before. This year we got to add some beautiful personalized crystal, hear my husband vacuuming, crystal ornaments that were made by a lovely subscriber who sent them to me from the UK. She personalized them for each of us, and they're absolutely beautiful. And she even, I don't know if she realized this or not, but they match our stockings. She must have. You must have realized that they were gonna match our stockings anyway. She did an amazing job, and so I'll show you them as we go. They're beautiful, handmade, like crystal beaded snowflakes. So the first one is mine. Yes, my name is Janelle. I've been going by Nell since college, but you know, my mom still calls me Janelle. My grandma still calls me Janelle. And so this one's mine, and you can see my little ornament says, the little beads say Nell, and it just hangs from the loop. I thought about hanging the ornaments on our tree, but they're just too special, too pretty, and they're so sparkly. The lighting's not doing them justice. They're very sparkly. And so that one's mine. All of our stockings were made with Dimensions Gold kits, and I used the kit fabric and thread, and then I made my own quilted backing. And I have a tutorial on making this kind of quilted backing. It's on the inside as well. From probably 5 years ago now. The lighting's atrocious, but it's good enough for you to kind of see and understand how I make our quilted stockings. So that was, there's something in there. Oh, it's a note from the lovely subscriber who gave us the ornaments. I wanted to keep this. I'll just show this really quickly. She's cross-stitched me a little reindeer card with a little note in it, and it was so special that I wanted to keep it with the stocking. So it is in my stocking. Thank you, Rachel. You're wonderful. So that one's mine. This one's my husband's. My husband's name is Christopher, and his ornament is blue to go with his. So pretty. They have little jingle bells on them. They're just really sweet. My oldest son is Charles, or Charlie. We call him Charlie. Here's his ornament. It's red and gold, and it says Charlie on it. So beautiful. Like, seriously, these ornaments are just absolutely lovely. And then my second son, I live in a house full of boys. My second son, Henry, there's his stocking, and his ornament is green like mine. There's that, and I can't remember what all of these kits were called. They're all by Dimensions Gold. Some of them may be retired now, but often you can find them for sale on eBay. And then this one's James. He's my youngest son, and his is blue like his dad's. So those are our Christmas stockings, and those live in the finish bin because they're too special to be anywhere else. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this back so I can lay things flat here as I pull them out. Okay, first on top, this is on top because I was thinking about trying to get it finished. This is the last of my Country Cottage Needleworks Cottages of the Month. You guys know I finished all of these. This was the last one, December. I haven't fully finished it yet. I fully finished, I think, all of the rest of them, so I just need to fully finish this one, and then I'll have a full set. So there's that. This you will have seen last week. This is my Summer House Trio by Waxing Moon Designs. I just ironed it and laid it in the bin. And here are my whirligigs. Thank you to everyone who suggested different finishing tutorials. I'm debating between using Vanna's domed pincushion tutorial and Kathy Haberman's hoop pincushion tutorial. I haven't decided which one I'm gonna do yet, but both would work well, I think, for these. So those are my whirligigs by Heart and Hand. Spring whirligig, summer whirligig, autumn whirligig, and winter whirligig. I'm not going to talk about threads and fabric because we would be here all the live long day. So if you have any questions about a specific piece, please reach out to me and I can answer for you. This is one of the A Year in Chalk series by Hands On Design. This is the May pattern, Plant Seeds of Joy. I have a lot of these fully finished as well, so I need to do that one. You guys saw this a few weeks ago, Put on the Hat, also by Heart and Hand, Around the Holidays series, and I actually put in the bin the purple velveteen that comes with the pattern for finishing it. Speaking of this series, we have I Hear the Bells, also from the Around the Holidays series by Hands On Design. And two more from the same series. Oh Say Can You See, on this amazing yellow fabric. I can't remember what this is. It's by Picture This Plus. If you go see my video about this one last summer, I'm sure it's in there. Oh Say Can You See, and oh, two more. Grown with Love, from the Around the Holidays series. And the last one from that series is Live Within Your Harvest. I have finished the Patriotic one from this series. I can't remember what it's called again, Into a Little Pillow. And I entered it in the state fair this past summer, so that's why it's not in this bin anymore. But now the rest are all done and I need to fully finish them. Then we have, oh yes, my Hardanger. You guys saw these a couple videos ago. I have a couple pieces of Hardanger in here. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with them, but they are very beautiful. And then here's a piece that didn't get finished, but was like good practice for me. Some more Hardanger. Didn't want to get rid of it. Let's see. Oh my goodness. It's all my Mill Hill Santas. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay. I'm not going to remember all their names and we would be here forever. Oh, here's two more little pieces of Hardanger from several years ago when I was just learning how to do Hardanger. So there's some little pieces. I'll just quickly show these. I don't remember what they are called. It's been too long. They all have names, but I don't remember what they are. I still have like a bag full. Let's fix his mustache. I still have a baggie full of kits of these that I need to do. And there have been like 5 more years worth of Santa trios that have been released that I don't yet own. But I love stitching these. In fact, now that I'm looking at them, maybe I should pull out another one. I love these. They are quick to stitch. Adding the beads are really fun. And then here's some more. And these all have some thread with them for making their hangers. So apologies. I'm going to try and keep the thread with the Santa. These, see, you can see I finished all of these, but I haven't yet glued their hangers on. So I just have their thread. What I do is I take like a length of leftover thread from the kit that I didn't, you can't see it. Oh, I need like 6 hands. A length of leftover thread from the kit. There's always leftover thread. I love that one. I think that's Lapland Santa. I can't remember. Hold on, I dropped something. There's always leftover thread in these Mill Hill kits, and so I save that a length of that leftover thread, and I turn it into the hanger for that particular ornament so that they all have a hanger that kind of matches their color palette. Ooh, yeah. Kind of delicate with them. I mean, they're fairly sturdy, but they are made out of perforated paper, so they will rip. And I don't choose to put anything on the back of mine. This is Ireland Santa. I know that one. You can see I leave the back open, and so I do try to be kind of delicate with them. They're just so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I just have a vision someday of having a tree covered, just dedicated to all my Mill Hill Santas, covered in Santas from all over the world. This is the Mexican Santa, I believe, Mexico Santa. So anyway, those are my Mill Hill Santas. And now very carefully and gently, I'm gonna put them back in their bags so they don't get lost or smushed. But I have them all in there. And now I feel like I want to pull out a new Mill Hill Santa kit to work on. Here are my Country Cottage Needleworks seasonal celebrations. This is spring. And I stitched this on like a baby pink linen. I really like how that turned out. Turned out so cute. What's next? Ooh, this needs to be ironed, but this is my Lizzie Kate Tingles series. I did it all on one. Lizzie Kate Tingles. This is, I believe, picture this plus ale. And we'll start it at the top so you can see. I picked my own thread colors as per usual. And this was really fun to stitch. I really enjoyed these colors, the fabric. I just love it. So this needs to get finished up for Halloween so I can display it. This is a Little House Needleworks. I can't remember what this is called. I got this off of a stash unload site years ago, and the person who sold the patterns to me also had the buttons. So you can see there's that button, the sheep, there's an acorn, and then there's these stars down here. So this is beautiful. I can't remember what this pattern is called, but it's by Little House Needleworks. Liberty, freedom, peace, old glory, honor, land of the free. Over here it says year 2019. I finished that in 2019. That's really pretty. I'm not going to say over and over again that I really need to finish that, because that's true of everything in this bin. This is my Little Bits of Halloween by the Drawn Thread. I'm going to fold back some of that extra fabric. And I think this was stitched on a fabric. This isn't gingerbread, because I'm using the gingerbread fabric for the Christmas, Little Bits of Christmas. But this is Little Bits of Halloween by the Drawn Thread. I did the square one, obviously. Really cute. Oh, here's another Country Cottage Needleworks Seasonal Celebrations. There's the winter. Did that on a baby blue. This is by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais, and this is an Easter one on the like chocolate brown linen. That one's cute. I should finish this one now so that I can put it out for Easter. This is stitched on 36 count linen, I think. I don't often stitch on 36 count. It's really cute. Maybe I'm gonna set that one aside to think about getting that done for Easter this year. Oh, found another Country Cottage Needleworks, November. Apparently I hadn't finished November either. I don't know how my centering got so off on this one. This is the center and it's like way up. I think there's enough there for, yeah, there's enough there for me to finish it, but I just did something weird with that. So November and December still need to be finished. Let's put them together. There's December. We'll put that with November. Here is one of my Plum Street Sampler animal trios. This is the Gobble Gob, I think it's what it's called. It's the turkey one. Super sweet. Yeah, Gobble Gob. And here's another one of those that I've done. This is the reindeer one, but I can't remember what it's called. Also by Plum Street Samplers. I love her animal trios. I'm working on one of them right now. It's really fun. They're small, but they're detailed enough to be interesting, and I don't know, I really like them. Here's another seasonal celebration. This is Autumn by Country Cottage Needleworks. I should put all of these together as well. The Autumn pattern, and I stitched this on, I want to say like limestone, I think the color is called. Let's pull out, oh, it's gonna mess up all of my pile. There we go. There's the spring one, the autumn one. Here's the winter one. Tell you, these aren't in any sort of order in this bin. They're just, you know, tossed in. Here is a Prairie Schooler month, September. Warm September. I remember I did this one because it was my least favorite of the series, and now I love it. Now that it's done, I think it's absolutely beautiful. These grapes down here with like the backstitched vines. Oh, I need to start another one of these. So this is the Prairie Schooler. That's what I mean. Prairie Schooler has a pattern for each month, and this one is September. There's more of them in here. I think there's one more in here. And then here's the last of them. Here's Summer, the Seasonal Celebrations by Country Cottage Needleworks on this beautiful buttery yellow fabric. So there's all 4 seasons. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with those. I need ideas. How should I finish these, guys? Tell me. This is an old finish. This is Lizzie Kate, a Halloween series. It's not Halloween Rules. I can't remember what this one's called, but this was the first cross stitch pattern I ever did on linen over 2 threads and using the called for over dies. I bought all the called for over dies and I did this. So this was a big jump for me. This was like going from kits that I bought at Joann's or Michael's, and then a kit, or, you know, buying patterns and fabric and threads separately and using linen and over dyed threads. So this was a big moment for me. I used to have this finished in a different way, but I actually took it out of the old finishing, and I'm gonna do a different finish on it. But this is an old one. I think I finished this probably back in 2009, 2010 time frame. So this has been around for a while. Here is, oh, remember this? My Easter trio, my Easter House trio by Waxing Moon Designs. I tried it before with different threads and I really just did not like how it looked. But rather than throw it away, I kept it because, I don't know, it's a little finish. I didn't do the other 2 houses in this particular thread colorway, but I kept it. Here are all of my Snowflower, oh, there we go. Snowflower Diaries monthly series. These also, I really need to get back to and finish the series. I'm done through August, so I only have, what is that, 5 left? So these are by the Snowflower Diaries. This is the something world, beautiful world series, magical world series. It's escaping me. I'll try to link it down below if I can remember. She released these as free patterns. I don't know if they're still available as free patterns, but they used to be free, and so these are beautiful. This is January by the Snowflower Diaries. Here's February. Cute. Duckies. March. That one's fun. I like the colors in that one. April. Bunny and a squirrel. May. Kitties. June. This is my favorite of the whole series. The bear and the beehive. June. July. Love those flamingos. July is my birthday month. I'm a Leo. Can you tell? And August. The dog and all of those beautiful lazy daisies to make the flowers. Aren't those gorgeous? In August. So I have all of those done from the Snowflower Diaries. I need to do September through December. Here is Little House Needleworks Battle Hymn of the Republic. Awesome. This is, oh, it's been a long time since we've seen my beautiful blue lady. If you are new here, you may not have seen my beautiful lady before. This is a lavender and lace pattern, and I sewed on this extra fabrics for ease of stitching in my Q-snap. This is a lavender and lace pattern called The Bride, and I did my own color conversion on this baby. I made her blue, sapphire blue, instead of whites and creams. And after stitching her, I decided that stitching like beautiful lady kind of patterns like Mirabilia, Lavender and Lace, Nora Corbett. I know there are other newer designers who are also doing like beautiful ladies and gorgeous dresses kind of style. That wasn't really my taste in stitching. That wasn't really my style, but I did finish her and I love her and she's absolutely gorgeous. She's also got blue, like sapphire blue beads all through her dress. I don't know if you can see them. There's blue beads there on her dress. And so yeah, she's special. I don't think she will ever get framed or hung in my house. It's just not really my taste, but I love that I stitched her and I can say I've stitched a pretty lady. So she was my one and only pretty lady. Here's another one of these Prairie Schooler monthly patterns. This one is June. These are so pretty. I love these Prairie Schoolers. I have all 12 of the patterns. I have one that's fully finished, which is April, which is hanging up in my house right now. But there's June. Ooh, this is also a Little House Needleworks, I believe, or is it Country Cottage? I think this is Little House. From Sea to Shining Sea, these were thread packs. They came in, there were 6 patterns. So their first one was the border, and then we had 5 different houses, and they came with a pattern and a silk thread pack using Classic Colorworks Belle Soie silks. And you can see it's kind of the geographic regions of the United States, east and west. So we have the West Coast, palm trees, the Southwest, desert, cactuses, kind of a very Southwestern style house. We have the Mountain West, the Rockies, Colorado, Utah, that kind of area. We have the Midwest, which is central United States, you know, amber waves of grain kind of area. This is where I live now. I live in Missouri and we are Midwest. And then we have the Eastern Seaboard and we have like a salt box house. And anyway, I love that. I think that's so pretty. So these are 5 separate patterns. I don't think the thread packs are sold anymore, but I know that the patterns are still available, pretty sure. And you don't have to stitch them in silks. You could stitch them in regular classic colorworks or any colors you chose. So we've got, another Prairie Schooler monthly. This is November. I just love the colors in this one. I know they're kind of like muted and dull, which isn't usually my taste, but dull November brings the blast. Then the leaves go whirling past with the geese flying south and the wind and the bare trees. And it's a whole mood. I love this. And this turkey is adorable. So that's November by Prairie Schooler. This is a Prairie Schooler series. I can't remember what these are called. These are like the Patriotic bits and pieces. And I had grandiose plans to stitch all of these and then finish them all. And I only ever did the Patriotic ones. And this was like the last time I stitched on Ada. I chose to stitch these on Ada. I can't remember why. But yeah, I haven't really ever stitched on Ada since then, but these look great on Ada. So this is a Prairie Schooler pattern. And I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I should turn them into little ornaments or something and hang them up for 4th of July. Independence Day. Then we have, ooh, yes, we have my Nutcrackers. This is the Holly and the Ivy by, I can't remember. I know this pattern's called the Holly and the Ivy. The Holly and the Ivy. Look at how beautiful these guys are. I love Nutcrackers. You guys know I'm a ballerina. Dance just about every role in the ballet, the Nutcracker, that there is. So pretty. They've got beads, red beads, especially here on the Holly one. The Ivy's got some sparkly stuff. I had to use blending filament in Ivy. I had never used blending filament before. And let's just say, when it calls for blending filament, just buy a corresponding Krynic color and just use the Krynic number 4 braid or the Petite Treasure braid, because blending filament is a beast to work with, but it does look pretty. It does look very sparkly. There's that. These are My Little Women by Brooks Books. Okay, so these came in 4 separate patterns. I decided to stitch them all together in one piece. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Like I've said before, I have 3 boys and I don't think they want Little Women in their room. So someday I might finish this and give it to one of my nieces, or I don't know, but Little Women was my favorite like classic novel. And it still is. I love Little Women. So here we have Meg in her beautiful pink dress. There's Jo and Beth with her kitten in her pocket, and Amy. So love that. Brooks Books. Yeah, stitched them all on one piece. These are 2 pieces by, these are older now. These are 2 pieces by Imaginating, I think, is the company, and this is Count Your Blessings and Give Thanks. I stitched this way back in like 2015. It's been a long time. That's a pretty Thanksgiving one. There's not a lot of cross stitch patterns for Thanksgiving, so it's nice when you get a pretty one. And then I have another one by Imaginating. This is a Halloween one. These are old, guys. It says, Croaking frogs, leaping lizards, pumpkin seeds and smelly gizzards, cawing ravens, eye of newt, magic potion or chicken soup, happy Halloween, and 2 little witchies. Love it. So cute. I don't know if these will ever get fully finished. They've been sitting in my whip bin for almost 10 years now, but I keep them because they're pretty and I spent a lot of time stitching it, so why would I get rid of it? Ooh, now we're getting into the really old stuff, guys. Here is my Janlynn summer sampler. Do you guys remember this? I used to have all 4 of these kits from Janlynn by Cooler Design Studio. Came with all the threads and this Ada. And I finished Summer Sampler and it's gorgeous. And then I got like 2/3 of the way through the Winter Sampler and I just didn't want to stitch it anymore. They're just not really my style. They annoyed me because there's a ton. If you've ever stitched a Cooler Design Studio piece, so many fractional stitches. And fractionals don't bother me necessarily, but on Ada, they are a big old pain in the tuchus. So I kind of pooped out on my Winter Sampler and I adopted it out to Steph over at Lindy Stitches and she finished it. She finished it and now has it in her house. So it was kind of fun that we stitched it together and now it's hanging at her house. And then I also had the autumn and spring kits like unopened and I sold those on Stash Unload a long time ago because I just realized, look, I'm never gonna stitch these. I did this one, finished it, got about 2/3 of the way through the winter one and decided, I'm done. So, but it's amazing. I mean, the Cooler Design Studio patterns are so detailed and vibrant and beautiful. I really recommend if you're gonna stitch them, because I think the patterns are still available. I don't think you can buy them as kits anymore, but you can use DMC. And the patterns themselves, I think you can still buy from like Cooler Design Studio online. But I am going to recommend very strongly that if you're gonna stitch these, do it on linen or even weave, because fractionals doing 3/4 and 1/4 stitches are so much easier on linen when you have a hole in the center of your square for doing those 1/4 and 3/4 stitches. Just trust me, you're gonna want to stitch it on linen. It's possible to do it on Ada. I did, but it was a beast and I did not enjoy it as much. So that's an oldie. I think I stitched this started it probably in like 2007 and didn't finish it until maybe 2009 sometime, possibly later than that. I don't really remember, but that's Summer Sampler. Here's another one that I started out with such great intentions and then never did it. I have the Amish Life Triptych series from, it's still available as a pattern. I have them from the original magazines, the Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. Back in the 80s and early 90s, I have all 3 magazines that have this 3-part Amish Life series where we have these 2 side pieces, this one, and then there's one over here, and then there's a center one that's slightly bigger. And they're beautiful. I have the patterns still. I have more of this blue even weave Monaco that I bought at Hobby Lobby like 10 years ago before they stopped selling Monaco at Hobby Lobby. I have the fabric, I have the patterns. I just don't know if I will ever stitch them. But I did this one and it's beautiful. The whole triptych is gorgeous. Like, it's absolutely beautiful, and there's lots of people who have stitched it. I only got 1 of the 3 done. Never say never, maybe someday. And then looks like the last thing in my bin. Oh. Okay, guys, this one's gonna be more emotional than I anticipated it being. Sorry. This is Ukrainian embroidery. Wow, okay. Many of you know, I think I shared with you in my last video, Ukraine is a special country to me. I studied a lot about Ukrainian dance and culture in college. My bachelor's degree is in dance, and one of my emphases was world dance. And as I said in my last video, our touring international folk dance company, and we end every performance with a Ukrainian hopak. And this is an example of traditional Ukrainian cross-stitch embroidery. This is the kind of pattern you would see on a sleeve, kind of running down a sleeve like this, of the traditional Ukrainian costume. And I don't think I can talk too much about this. Because it's going to make me sad. But I stitched this in college as a part of a project that I did on Ukrainian dance. Because, like I said, this is the typical embroidery of what you'd see on a Ukrainian costume that they wear while they're doing their traditional dance. Oh, how fitting that that was in the bottom of my bin. And that's it, guys. That's my bin empty. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff in there, but not as much as I kind of thought there would be, which means I'm doing better at getting things fully finished. But yeah, thanks for going with me down a little tour of memory lane. Sorry, got a little choked up there at the end. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it because it makes me too upset, but my prayers are still with Ukraine. And my parents have made a trip out to the border at the Ukrainian-Romanian border and have delivered supplies and have helped with getting refugees to where they need to go. And so this conflict feels very personal. So anyway, my prayers and my thoughts are still with Ukraine. I will be back next week with a regular cross-stitch update. I've been doing more fully finishing, and I've done some stitching. I need to do some more stitching. I've been kind of on a finishing kick, which is great. Sometimes I stitch more, sometimes I finish more. But I'll be back next week with a regular video. Until then, if you have any questions about any of these pieces, please feel free to email me, and I'll catch you guys next week. Take care, be safe, and love ya. Bye.